Yeah,
Okay.
we're on a date right now.
Yes, we're on a date right now. All of us are on a date right now. So welcome, everyone. My name is Judy.
And I'm Iggy. Welcome, everybody.
And we live in the Sacramento area, and so we are just so grateful to be here and share this opportunity to work with this sacred medicine. It has changed my life a lot, a lot. And so we know that Iggy and I are here to really share the sacred plants with everyone. Do you want to talk about what we do?
Yes. So one of the things that Judy and I do, we run cacao ceremonies. So we love to work with the sacred plant of cacao, ceremonial cacao that is. And we hold these ceremonies in Sacramento area. Yeah. So if you are further away, unfortunately, we understand it's not so easy for you to join, but you're always welcome and you're always invited to when you're visiting the area and you can make it. We highly recommend it. We call cacao the plant medicine 101. It's a powerful heart opener. It's so beautiful. And so in addition to that, we also do retreats, plant medicine retreats. We take people to ayahuasca out of the country to Costa Rica. And we also have our own retreats
in Mount Shasta. So we've been working with sacred plants now for a while. Well, I started my journey with ayahuasca like 4 years ago, and it's taken me to so many different places. And Iggy and I have gone to Peru to do ayahuasca ceremonies in Peru
and Costa
Rica. And so we have been working with this plant for a while, and just a couple of months ago we met Matt and Laura a couple of months ago, because they are starting this movement with the medicine. And so Matt and Laura are from Utah, and ayahuasca has changed their lives too, like it has many people all around the world. So I just wanted you guys to meet Matt and Laura, and you guys could talk about yourselves and starting awake here.
Yes.
Please. So blessed you guys are here.
Well, thank you so much.
My thought is, when you said we met you 2 months ago, I thought, no, we've known you for a lifetime.
Yes.
I know. Feels like that. Feels like that.
Love you. Thank you, everyone, for.
Yeah. So I guess to start it off, Laura and I are not unlike many people where we were raised certain religious background. We were raised Mormons, and I grew up in Los Angeles, and a lot of Mormons, they eventually end up in Utah, the motherland, and for Mormons. But so having that background, we had just an aversion to any altering substance. And it wasn't until after Laura and we found each other after a very difficult divorces, previous marriages, and our marriages were fraught with mental illness and trying to deal with that. I explain it like to people like you're riding a roller coaster with a blindfold on.
Wow.
What turns and ups and downs you're going to go through next. And so because of that, in my divorce process, I had really a lot of difficulty with my kids. In fact, my oldest daughter, I had years, and it just really, I felt like a piece of me was missing. And for Laura, it was her pain was more acute. Her husband of 22 years took his life, and this was after 8 months after her son-in-law took his life. And so, with 2 suicides, 6 kids, her being the sole breadwinner, and you can imagine the trauma and Laura had a lot of PTSD. And about 6 months into our marriage, I started hearing ayahuasca, the word ayahuasca. What is that? Like I would turn on Netflix or whatever, and I'd come across this, this documentary, or be listening to Joe Rogan, and all of a sudden I'm listening to something about ayahuasca. Like, what is this? And I grew up a surfer, so I thought that I had exposure to, you know, I thought that my eyes had been open. I had a lot of friends that would, you know, recreationally use marijuana and other substances and things. I thought that I was wise to this world, but this was something I'd never heard of before. And I'd never heard of these things referred to as medicine. And a friend of mine that I've known for 25 years made a post on Facebook, and he was explaining how he went down to the jungle of Peru, and he was healed of a lot of these. He had some difficult challenges in his life as well, and that he was able to confront and heal from with ayahuasca. And I just called him. It was like 10:30 at night. I just said, forget it, I'm calling him. What's with this ayahuasca stuff? And Laura and I sat there and listened to his story for about an hour. And when we hung up, we looked at each other and it was like, is Jimmy crazy? Like, he is crazy, or this is the most incredible discovery. Why haven't we known about this? Why doesn't the world know of this stuff? I was fascinated. So we purchased every book we could find on ayahuasca. We started watching every single YouTube video, and we 2 months later, we found ourselves in Peru. And 45 minutes after drinking ayahuasca, the first mind-altering substance Laura and I had ever had in our life, people like to tease us about that. They're like, you went straight to ayahuasca? Like, are you crazy? But
I'm in that club. I'm in that club too.
well,
It's like, bam.
you know, the thing is, when you get to a certain point in your life, you'll do anything, you know?
It's medicine.
And therapy, when therapy doesn't work, and you don't want to turn to your friends and family to be that guy. Oh no, here comes Matt again. He's going to talk about his challenges, right? You know, these things fall into your lap, and a lot of people say that the medicine calls them, you know, and just the fact that everyone's on this call right now, maybe it's serendipitous, right? Maybe you've been hearing about this for a while now, and you're wondering what the heck is this, and here you are on a Friday night listening to me. That's kind of, but Laura, after drinking ayahuasca, she was able to see her ex-husband and converse with him and process all of her trauma of 22 years and then the suicides. And I was able to embrace my daughter in an actual physical embrace, as real as I am sitting here holding my wife's hand. That's how real it was. And if you see that light in our car shining, that's what rays of light were shining out from this embrace with my daughter. And I was able to transmit to her all my love, all the missed birthdays, Christmas, all of my love and strength that a parent wants to give their child. I was able to give to my daughter in this Maloka. And I was also healed of a physical ailment that I've been taking medication for. Healed, totally. And I came back. I actually had my blood drawn. What day is it? Today's Friday. When was it? Tuesday?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I had my
Tuesday.
blood drawn on Tuesday.
Yeah.
I get my blood drawn every 3 or 4 months just to make sure that everything's fine. And since I have not taken that medication, it was actually a tumor. I had a tumor. And a pituitary tumor. I was able to hold at bay with this powerful medication, but I haven't taken that medication since ayahuasca. And since then, I didn't feel totally comfortable coming out and saying, hey, guess what? I had a cosmic surgery. And, and you know, people think I'm crazy. So I said, well, I'm going to interview people all around the world. Let them tell their story. It'll make me feel more comfortable sharing the miracles that Laura and I experienced. And in interviewing hundreds of people, I realized my story was not unique. And I was listening to people tell me stories of watching cancer fly out of their body. They had been diagnosed with breast cancer and seen the tumors fly out of their body. People healed of every ailment you could imagine. people that were going to kill themselves. They had the drugs to do it. They were going to do it. And a stranger that they recently met told them to, before they kill themselves, to do ayahuasca. And I have so many like mind blowing stories are going on this website. But one of these interviews was with a gentleman named Tyler in Arizona, and Tyler suffered from PTSD and a bunch of problems from his service in the Middle East. And at the VA hospital, he met many different people that suffered from the same thing. And one of these people he didn't even recognize from seeing him before. And he said, "What happened to you?" And the guy said, "I've been microdosing ayahuasca." And Tyler's like, what? What is-" And this guy gave him Alan Shumake's contact in Peru. And Alan is a famous shaman. He's partly responsible for bringing ayahuasca all around the world. In the 80s, he was flying to Europe and holding ceremonies in people's apartments. And he's a very special guy. Well, when he said that, I thought, well, I know Alan. I had met him through another serendipitous meeting, and actually some of his personal belongings, some of my personal belongings were at his house. He was storing them for me. And he said, "Well, Alan didn't give you the ayahuasca to microdose?" And I said, "No, well, I'll send you a bottle." So he sent me a bottle, and that night, it seemed like I wasn't even dreaming. I was just getting messages, or I wasn't even sleeping. I was dreaming the whole night. And I guess they call it lucid dreaming. I had never experienced that before, where I knew I was sleeping, but I would get these messages so clear. It was as if I was awake, and I would just reach over, grab my phone, and write down the word or whatever the message was to review in the morning. And then when I woke up, I hit the power button on the CPAP machine that normally registers that I have between 5 and 10 sleep events every hour each night. And it said 0.0. I had not one sleeping event, and I thought, it must be broken. It must not be plugged in. Like, what's going on here? And that was the start of me connecting with the pure vine of ayahuasca. And traditionally in the Amazon, the healing, the indigenous peoples use the Banisteriopsis caapi to heal people of many different ailments. And traditionally, the ayahuasca that we all know, the ceremonial ayahuasca, which is a mixture of the vine with the chakruna leaf. So it's the Banisteriopsis caapi and the chakruna leaf. So they're completely two separate plants. The chakruna contains the dimethyltryptamine, which causes the visions. People say it's the fireworks, right? Whereas the healing is in the vine. And I had never, before Laura and I had been to Peru, if you would have told me that plants had spirits, I would have said, "What? You're crazy." But I'm telling you, the spirit of La Madre, or Mother Ayahuasca, is in the vine. And the vine is what is 100% legal. It's hard to get. It's expensive. It's a laborious process. But through just a bunch of events, we've been able to, and one of my childhood friends also has a company that he's worked the last 15 years of his life extracting certain, what would you call them? I guess certain elements from different plants and things, and creating supplement products. And he's the only person in the world that has the capability, at least in his words, to do what he's been able to do with the pure vine of ayahuasca. And we've been able to put it into a formula without touching it, without changing the ayahuasca in any way from how it's touched from the Shipibo tribe in Peru. And we've been able to put it into a formula that it instantly absorbs under your tongue, sublingually, and enters into your bloodstream. And it's just miraculous what it does. But we don't want to sell it. and we thought, well, how can we get it out to people? There's costs associated with it. And we thought, well, let's tie it to learning, because it's not just about taking a medicine and then having these experiences. It's about being exposed to an entire world of plant medicines, and an entire world of thought, of processing, and being able to learn of other ways that we can heal ourselves. These are just tools. These plant medicines are tools, but we want to be able to learn about energy healing, breath work, guided meditation, and to be able to have virtual ceremonies. Like Iggy and Judy, I would recommend trying to do a virtual cacao ceremony for people. I know that would be beautiful.
We're down for that.
Yeah.
For sure.
So what Awake Healer is it's a platform where we have something we call Miracle Stream, where we stream live events every day. So yoga and meditation and breath work, so you can get exposure to these things. Then you can connect with healers all over the world. You may not connect with one person, but you may connect with another. And so we want to have many different people teaching many different modalities. And then, of course, being able to utilize some of these indigenous medicines. So we've been able to partner with my childhood friend and fill a warehouse with indigenous medicines. And we partner directly with the tribes so that they're able to keep most of the profits. We don't care to profit off of the indigenous medicines. We just want to get them into people's hands, and also avoid people getting ripped off, or people supporting people that are taking advantage of some of the indigenous peoples. And so that's what the purpose of Awake Healer is. We also have courses on there. So maybe some of you have heard of Kambo. It's a indigenous ceremony practice that utilizes the poison of, I hate to use the word poison.
Secretion.
It's a secretion. It's like a sweat.
Secretion is a good word.
The frog use it as a poison because they have no other way to protect themselves.
It's a defense.
Yeah, it's a defense. But so the indigenous people, they without hurting the frogs, they're able to scrape or take the secretion off the back of it. They put it on a stick, and anyway, when it's rehydrated and put on your skin through the lymphatic system, it's a reset button. It resets your body. It gets out toxins. It's incredible medicine, and so you can learn all about that. But it's very difficult to get this medicine, so we're going to have it available, and then we have a course. So if you want to learn how to apply it to yourself or to help members of your family or your community, you'll know how to safely administer the medicine as well, and become a Kambo practitioner. But so that's kind of what we're doing, and in this process, we've partnered or been working with the top researchers in the world of ayahuasca. Rachel Harris, Jim Fadiman, kind of the father of microdosing, has guided us through creating the protocol. So we're going to have the largest Banisteriopsis caapi, or pure vine of ayahuasca study ever done. So anyone that is a member of the site is also participating in ayahuasca research. And we're just really excited about it. And every day there's new people that are joining that heard about us and want to be a part, and they have amazing stories and talents. And so it's just a way to connect not only with your local community, with healers in your community, but also with people all around the world. And like Iggy and Judy mentioned that they do retreats. Well, we just feel it's important that when you're going to a country where some of these plant medicines are legal, because here in the United States, they're not legal. It's decriminalized in a couple of places, but for the most part in the US, it's not legal to do. So we have people that own the most amazing retreat centers that have offered up their retreats at less than half the cost of what you would normally pay. And they're just doing it to to serve the medicine and to get the medicine out to the world. And it's important that when you go and take these, that you go with people that you know and trust. And that's why we want to create these micro communities. Laura, do you want to tell them about doTERRA and what doTERRA is and how that plays a part in this?
Oh, definitely.
Should we switch over to the presentation perhaps?
And
Yes.
then we can like kind of go
Okay.
through.
So I'm going to share screen. Let's do that.
Yay, I love the logo. It's so beautiful.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yes, the Awake Healer logo is so beautiful.
Yeah, so am I able to go through this?
Yeah.
I'll just step through it then for you.
Mhm. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, so
This is what Awake Healer is. So if you could just go to the next. So what like that last slide said, really we exist to help us find the healing modalities to heal ourselves. And we're all just lay people. We're not, some of us have different certifications, some of us have, but we're all committed to the same cause, which is healing ourselves and helping others. Can you go to the next slide, please? Yeah, so that's what the vision is. You can go to the next slide. I want to be very careful with everyone's time and respectful of everyone's time. And I did just go on for 30 minutes.
That's okay.
But I can't, let me see if I can turn it sideways. I can see this.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, wow. Okay.
We apologize. We're on our phone.
Yeah, so basically, Awake Healer is all about education and then access to these medicines and these opportunities to learn through the retreat centers, as well as just the network of people that, a lot of us, well, we all know somebody that suffers from addiction, and whether it be opiate addiction or other life-threatening addictions. And some of you have heard of Iboga or Ibogaine and some of the miraculous healing that takes place with that medicine. Well, we're connected with shamans and people that are experienced with all these different types of medicines. And well, Laura and I, we don't have experience with those things. We've never done Iboga. We can connect you, and Iggy and Judy are connected with these people, and they can steer you in the right direction to help you or help your families. And it's so important when you're doing these things. It's such a paradigm shift, especially, I'm just speaking from experience. I like to tell people that my religious background was kind of like me seeing life through a straw. And after taking ayahuasca, it just, all of a sudden it became it became binoculars. Like I saw the world. Basically the prism that I saw my entire life through, both myself and the world around me, was shattered into a million pieces. And I realized that I don't know shit. And it's been, I think the people call it the being awakened or being awake. And, I think that for me anyway, the more I learn, the more I realize I don't know. And
can you guys still see us?
Can you see us?
well, I'm presenting the screen right now.
Okay, perfect. Okay, good.
Yeah, can you go to the next slide?
Sure.
All right.
Okay. So when you to be a member of Awake Healer, you can choose to purchase approximately $100 in products per month of doTERRA. These are plant medicines, the best, most natural, naturally harvested, sustainably sourced medicines. And then you get a free month of microdosing ayahuasca sent to your home. You will also participate in the largest study of Banisteriopsis caapi ever done. that $100 purchase with doTERRA also enables you to earn commissions. So if you tell people about it, then before you know it, you're not paying anything. In fact, you'll actually be earning an income. There's many different ways to earn an income, but I don't want to overwhelm you guys with it.
Yeah.
But
It's
there
just
are
all
many,
good. Just know it's all good.
It's all good. There's many other ways to make money with the medicine. Some people have actually said that we've talked to, well, we're going to buy the indigenous medicines and we're going to retail them. We're going to make money on the medicines. Well, that's not really what it's about, but you can make this whatever you choose to make it. You know, this is all, it's all for you. We're here.
Yeah.
It's just a platform. But you'll for that $100 a month, you'll get the $100 in medicines. You'll get the ayahuasca. And then you can participate in these courses and get certifications and learn how to use some of these other medicines and learn how to heal yourself and really get to know who you really are in your essence, you know. And I think that's what we're all kind of about, right?
Yeah.
We're about trying to find who we're meant to be, you know, and discovering talents and gifts that we never knew we had. Today I spoke with 2 people that are energy healers. And it's so interesting how they learned that they had these gifts. And I think all of us have certain gifts, but we just need to be given the opportunity to discover what they are. This one particular gentleman, he said that he knew from when he was a child that he had this gift of energy healing, because anytime a friend or family member had hiccups, all he had to do was touch them and they would stop with the hiccups. And he said then it got to the point where it was like a joke in the family. And one of the family members that had a new child in the family called and said, we can't get our baby to stop with the hiccups and the baby is throwing a fit and is fussy. Can you just do that through the phone? And he was able to do that through the phone.
Wow.
And then he started taking professional courses and on the subject, and he's now a very well-renowned energy healer. And so these are just some of the purposes of why we created this and what we hope to accomplish. Honey, what do you want to say? I apologize. I'm super long-winded.
I just want to say, well, gosh, I apologize. The lighting with us is so terrible right now. We're just in our car, dark, but I don't know how bad it is if you can see us still, but
yeah, a little bit.
bad. It's kind of really bad here, and I'm so sorry, you guys. While we were doing sitting here in the car, it got really dark all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, I have been, like Matt mentioned, I've been with doTERRA for 10 years, and I'm a presidential diamond. And, you know, people think, well, is there some kind of secret to what you do and to make a significant income? I'm presidential diamond, and I've had a nice residual income for many years with it. And thank heavens, because when I was going through a lot of crap there's really no words to describe it. I don't know what I would have done had I needed to go to a job and work. Like, I think I would have had a complete breakdown. But I was able to take about 3.5 years off with really not doing anything but just coasting, because I created a residual income with doTERRA. And what I want to say about that is that anyone can do it. There is no secret to, well, there's a couple secrets, but they're not what you think they are. It's not being charismatic. It's not being a salesperson. It's not knowing everything about all the plants and being a chemist and being a nurse and a doctor. It's none of that. It's sharing from your heart, and it's teaching, helping people learn how to use the plant medicines with the oils. And it's the same thing with the different Amazonian plants that we're working with and introducing. And it's truly about sharing. It's not about being a salesperson. It's caring from your heart, and not leading with your head, getting stuck in your head with, I got to know all these numbers and all that, because I'm not good with numbers. I have just shared from my heart, and that's the message I received in the ayahuasca ceremony just this last February. Was, you are a teacher and a healer, and you need to bring plant medicine to the world. And I was asking in the ceremony, okay, what does that mean? I don't know what that means. And it was like, you'll know when you'll know what that means. You'll understand. And it has unfolded so beautifully. I mean, it's unfolded just unbelievably beautifully. Miraculously, that's the word I'm looking for.
Miraculous.
In the last, what is that, 6 months since February. And I can tell you that, again, comes back to, it's not me being charismatic. It's not, even though Matt is a wonderful speaker, it's not even about Matt being charismatic and speaking and eloquent with his words. The plants are leading and guiding, and they're bringing people. The world needs light workers. The world needs healers. The world needs people that are willing to rise up to lift other people. And that's what it's about. And so if you do have, or I should say this, if you're not opposed to becoming part of the network as far as becoming a group leader, and we can go into more details later on, but if you're not opposed to generating some income, then you'll want to become part of this as a group leader. If you want to just use the plant medicines, you can certainly get them off the website. Again, it is becoming part of the network. And I will say, and I could talk for hours, but I'm just going to wrap it up with this, because I really honor you each with your time and everything, that I've had to, over the last 14 years, because I've done a lot of different things in my work and things like that. I've had to overcome the emotional blocks with abundance, the lack mentality of money is bad. Seeking after money is not a good thing. You need to be humble. You know, that whole kind of religious programming that a lot of us have had. And so it was 13 years ago that I was face to face with that lack mentality that I had with abundance. And I was able to work through those issues that I have with money. I'm so sorry, the lighting is so bad.
No, it's
go like this.
Fine.
Okay. Anyway, I just want to say that this is not about money. This is not about getting things. This is about helping people, empowering people, and having money is wonderful if you are using, it's just a tool. It's a tool. And how beautiful is it that we're able to, because of being with doTERRA for 10 years and having that beautiful residual income, that's how we're able to bring plant medicines. That's how we're able to bring the medicines from the jungle, and how we were able to travel to Peru in the first place to have the experience we had. All of these things were paid for by money. And that's how we want to give back to these people in the Amazon jungle, and to help these local farmers to not hand them money, but to empower them so that they can grow more crops. They can feed their families. They can be paid well.
And then
that
the medicine is respected.
Yeah.
The medicine is treated the way that it should be treated.
Yeah.
I just want to say another thing, and that is, whoever came to Iggy and Judy's little meetup tonight is extremely fortunate, because these are two of the most special people I have ever met in my life. And
yeah.
And I don't throw around I love yous to many people, but after the first time meeting them, it just came out of me. I just said, I love you guys. And
I love you.
And they have both introduced Laura and I to healing modalities and feelings and experiences that we have never had before through the phone. And we wanted to go to Mount Shasta to one of your retreats, but we love animals, and one of our dogs is having a litter next week, and so we just couldn't go. But we feel like this is actually Awake Healing bringing together like our soul family.
Yeah.
And
Totally.
it's incredible. It's amazing. And that, I think, is the benefit, is being able to talk about these experiences and things that we're all kind of experiencing for the first time, or, you know, there's such profound experiences that you want to be able to share them with people that you love and you trust. And I can tell you that Iggy and Judy, I trust them completely. I love them, you know, so thank you guys.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thank you.
Thank you so
We're
much.
so honored to
Yeah,
be
we are.
part of this.
Yeah, we were contacted by Laura's daughter, and you know, she asked if we would do an interview, you know, because we do cacao, and so I was like, sure, we'll do an interview about cacao, but we didn't know it was going to be about this and how it was going to go. So, I mean, this is just a beautiful opportunity to work with the medicine in this way, in a non-DMT, you know, form. And so the way that we have it at the moment right now is in drop form. So whoever gets the medicine from us, like, I do a lot of work on the medicine. Like, I charge the medicine with crystals. I light language, if you guys know what light language is, and I sage it. So I do all kinds of stuff with the ayahuasca. But all you have to do daily for 30 days is take 3 to 5 drops underneath your tongue, and you just let it sit there for about 10 minutes, and that's it. Totally easy. So you get, you know, the benefit of the medicine, not just, you know, there are physical things that can happen, but I know that it can heal in different ways, you know, emotionally, mentally, and open you up, you know, spiritually. Because I know for myself, when I had my first ayahuasca ceremony experience like 4 years ago, my spiritual gifts, like, just like, it came online, but I asked for it. So when I take the ayahuasca in the morning, I do it in the morning. You can do it any time of the day. I really, really have so much reverence for this sacred plant. And I take my bottle in between my hands, and I say my intention for the day, and I say a prayer, and I thank her for her existence here on the planet. And then I take the drop. So for me, I do a little like ceremony for myself, you know, in the morning, because using these sacred plants in that way allows you to have some presence with it, and also reverence, you know, for the plant. You're not just, I'm just taking this like some kind of pharmaceutical. Like, no, this plant has consciousness. This has a spirit, you know, to it. It was handled by, you know, the Shipibo tribe, you know, in Peru, and they put, you know, all this energy, you know, into it too. So I have, Iggy and I have so much reverence for ayahuasca, and her spirit. The spirit of ayahuasca comes through me sometimes during our ceremonies. So, you know, she's super, you know, powerful. When you take take ayahuasca in this form, it's not like you're going to go to a ceremony and have this experience that is, you know, totally out of body and, you know, and visual. So you want to explain about that?
Right. So one of the beautiful things about microdosing is that you can take it during a regular workday.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to worry about having to drive or going to work or do anything you desire to do. It's not like taking on full journey. And so advantages that also you don't have to subject yourself to any particular diet. You don't have to travel out of the country and journey for 10, 12 hours. You basically take this little dimmer switch and you like turn on the light very, very gently. And so you might not feel any effects right away, but after a week, a few days, maybe 2 weeks, you start getting something. And usually you will notice some some changes in your life.
Mhm.
So this plant has some powerful alkaloids that haven't been really fully explored yet. And so they're called Harmala family alkaloids. There is a harmine, harmaline, and tetrahydroharmine, and these are powerful compounds that are stimulating neurogenesis, so creating new neurons in our brain and new synaptic connections. So it helps us to rewire the brain, and it also can be used to alleviate depression and anxiety. And this is so prevalent in today's society, right? I mean, how many people are on antidepressants or anti-anxiety drugs, which we all know have terrible side effects and they are not really that effective? This plant doesn't have any negative side effects that we know of, and everybody's talking about positive effects. So this is so beautiful about it. It's all natural, and you could just take it in your everyday activity and just use the benefit of this plant. So do you want to share what experiences you had with it?
So when Laura and Matt, first sent us the ayahuasca, I took it the first day. And so I'm gonna kind of, my little backstory is like about me is like, last year I started really going through my shifts as a woman, and I started having hot flashes, insomnia, can't sleep, just like it's been so up and down. And so when I first, with the first day I took it in the morning. That night, I totally fell asleep so fast. And I haven't fallen asleep like that in a long time. I fell asleep like that. Like I couldn't even keep my eyes open. And I was like, okay, I gotta go to sleep. It was like 10:30, which I'm usually up past midnight, 1 o'clock, like that. And so I thought, that was interesting. I fell asleep so fast. And I didn't really think too much of it, but then the next day when I took ayahuasca again, the second night, I was like, same thing happened. I totally fell asleep, and I'm like, oh my God, the only thing I changed was the ayahuasca drops. So I started taking the ayahuasca, and my sleep has been like solid too. I'm not like waking up in the middle of the night, and it's just, it's been for me like really, really good as far as feeling well rested. The other thing that I noticed for myself is that I feel like there's more peace inside, that I don't get as triggered, especially when I see social media, with all the stuff that's going on in the world right now, and things people post, and I get like triggered sometimes, like, oh my God, I just want them to wake up, like wake up and see what's happening in the world, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And so I would get, riled up like that. And I was telling Iggy, after taking this for a while, I was like, that's not happening to me anymore. I'm not like getting, upset or anything. Now I just feel like in acceptance, of everything. And I just feel, calm, and peaceful now. So that's really what has been happening, with me, with the medicine. My sleep is solid, woo, and I can sleep early, and also feeling that calmness on the inside. And I know like we have a few people here already that have been taking the medicine. Chris, Ambi, Donna, Brandy's been taking the medicine. And so I know we've had some similar experiences. Chris has had some like awesome experiences too. So yeah, it's going to affect people in different ways.
Perhaps I can share also my experience. So I've been taking the medicine for about a month now, on and off. I mean, we took some breaks in between as well. Normally you should take it for 30 days and then have a week break. So 5 to 10 days pause to allow your body to reset before you restart it. So we don't develop resistance to it. And so I felt this sense of well-being and just this, just peace, peace in my life, which was really beautiful. But lately, last week, I've had these powerful lucid dreams, and these realizations or epiphanies came up from my life when I was a child and a teenager, and my behavior and how I impacted other people, my parents, my grandmother, and friends and people around me. And I was just processing all of that. And this is interesting because I've been working with plant medicine for quite some time, and none of that ever came up. So this is kind of really surprising and interesting. And I understand now that what we're going through as humanity, and we need to heal ourselves, and we need to deal with all of our shadow selves. We need to work on that, transmute that, and release it, because there is no longer, it's no longer serving us, and we can't take it with us where we're going as we're expanding our consciousness. So this is so powerful about this medicine. And I would like to also give opportunity to others who would like to share their experiences, whoever would like to do that.
Do you want to, Chris? Chris is an awesome experience. Putting you on the spot, Chris.
Well, you know, for me, I have to do full disclosure. I'm on pause right now, and I want to share a little bit why. For me, as anybody who knows me, I've raised birds for over 45 years of my life. It's just always has been a hobby. I am definitely connected to avian spirit. And going through some of this process and keeping birds for as long as I've had, and I every year go through this cycle of breeding, and we show birds and blah, 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 right? I had this experience where over my shoulder, I was told that birds do not belong in cages.
Oh, it's me, Mike.
And I actually, it was so real. I turned because I thought there was somebody talking behind me.
Oh.
And
Right,
to be honest, it was really quite an experience. And I had to stop and pause for a moment. And I said, you know what? I absolutely agree with that. And my birds are not in cages by any means. They're in flight pens, and they're Australian birds. And I couldn't open the cages anyway and say, be free. They'd never survive. But for the last couple of years, I've noticed I've really started to change. I haven't had a breeding season in probably 2.5 years. My birds hate me right now, you know, but no babies kind of a thing. But along with that has been a real need to clean house. And for me, meaning it's time to, I needed some clarity. I need to start unloading what's going on around. And I'm actually physically preparing to go through, Judy, a colonic experience.
Yes.
I've ordered my colonics. I've got everything sitting here, and I'm just preparing myself because I'm in that 3D job, yay, you know, Monday through Friday, of when the hell I can do that and try not to be at work, you know. So there's definitely a plan, and I kind of wanted to put it on hold because I want to get through some of these layers of crap, and I don't mean that literally, I guess, but I want to go a little deeper here in some of these layers and start to unload and start to just sort through and rip apart. And there's that need to really want to do that because I'm just tired of not feeling great. I'm not physically, I'm 54 years old. I feel like sometimes like, oh, I'm 60, you know, or it just should not happen. So there's a plan. There's just something that just kind of took over and said, this is where we're going. You don't need to walk down the road of diabetes. You don't need to walk down the road of any of this stuff. And we're going to change it. So I kind of feel like once I go through that experience, I can't wait to jump in. And I mean, I look at my doTERRA over here and I'm just so excited. I cannot wait to get in and experience just some of even the most simplest of things that we take for granted. The citrus fruits and all of some of my very favorite, because I always love citrus for the solar plexus and sacral chakras for sure, right?
Yeah.
But really taking, experiencing some of these everyday oils and really bringing them into my life.
Yes.
I love it.
Awesome.
That story, Chris, that you just shared is almost exactly like the story that my stepdaughter had with meat.
Oh yeah.
Like,
oh wow.
she
Yeah.
was told. What
Oh my
was
gosh.
the
Okay.
voice?
So
It was
basically,
exactly like that.
so she had been microdosing just a few days. My daughter Brianna, she's 25, and I've been vegetarian off and on like most of my life, and I don't eat red meat, and I could easily go without meat. But Brianna
loves
is like, I could never be a vegetarian. I love my steak, I love my pork, I love all that stuff. So she starts microdosing. She comes back the next morning to my house and she's like, Mom, I can never eat meat again.
Wow.
I'm not be a vegetarian, I'm be a vegan. I can't do animal products.
Yes.
So
Yes.
one night, one ceremony, she had the day before, she was at my house and I had bacon bits in the fridge, just like a bag of fresh bacon bits, which I never ate myself, but the kids like to put it on salad. And so she sprinkled some bacon bits on her salad. And that night she went to sleep, and it was like Matt said, like dreaming message after message. Right when she fell asleep, she was taken right back to that moment where she put bacon bits on her salad, and then immediately she was shown the life of that pig.
Whoa.
Wow.
And she said the horror that she saw, the fear, all the stuff that the pig went through and she's like, it was so disturbing. And so she's been a vegan, like strict vegan, no dairy, no eggs, nothing for how many months? Like 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
And she feels really good. So that's a thing. It's like, wow, what a message.
The microdosing, my last ceremonial ayahuasca that I did, which was like a month ago, the first thing in my journal is ayahuasca is no joke. It is. I paused microdosing. I'm going to pick back up again. And I paused because I had, on a Wednesday at like 2:00 in the afternoon, I had one of the most powerful spiritual experiences I've ever had in my life. And I've had some profound, amazing, incredible, I don't have the words to describe experiences. This was one of those where it was a full-blown ayahuasca type, no vision, so there weren't the fireworks, but I felt as if I was holding on to a high voltage electrical line, not in a bad way. It's just that the power was so overwhelming and intense. And it was a feeling of power inside of me. And I've been trying to process it. What did it mean, you know? But I imagine it's what maybe Superman felt like after he went in the phone booth and twirled around cable. And I'm like, okay, I'm stopping microdosing because I don't know what this means, and I don't think I'm prepared to put on a cape or those funny underpants yet. I'm like, I'm out. Like I'm taking a break, and it is so powerful. Every day I hear new experiences. We connected with a gentleman because my friend felt an impression to call me, and he called me and asked me how I was doing, and he said, wow, my vice president of marketing, he's the CEO of a big company, and he said, my vice president of marketing has been talking to me about all these different things all the time. His wife got hit by a car. She was riding her bicycle and experienced a traumatic brain injury. And he'll find her sometimes sitting in the kitchen with half the ingredients of the refrigerator out on the countertops, and she's just staring at the ingredients, and he'll say, "What are you doing?" And she'll say, "How do you make a sandwich?" She just has these neural networks in her brain are disconnected. And we met that day from my friend Curtis. He said, "Dude, this guy will want to talk to you. Now I know why I felt impressed to call you. You need to talk to Chad." So I met with Chad. I brought him a bottle of ayahuasca, and he called me a few days later, and he said, "Matt, what has happened to my wife is miraculous, and I knew that I felt that ayahuasca would be able to help." And he said, "She has never felt this calm since she can remember. She's never felt this calm. She sleeps soundly. She just has a calm about her."
Yep.
And I just tonight, right before we left my friend's house here in Ventura, I got an article about the neurogenesis and the new networks and so forth. It's one of the few substances in the world that is actually clinically shown to create new neural pathways. It's amazing.
One dose, right?
Yeah, I
It
think
said
one dose.
The article said 1 dose.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, psilocybin does that too.
Yeah, that's so amazing.
Incredible.
So amazing. And later, Matt, offline, I'll because I'm just getting things about you and that experience. I'll tell you what that was later. later. So, yeah, I can read energies, and so I was just picking up some things as you were talking about that. So yeah, so I'll tell you those messages later. Or what I was getting.
Would anybody else like to share anything?
Share.
Yeah. Donna.
So, hi everyone. It's good to see everyone. So I had through it like these last few weeks. When I first started taking the Aya, I felt like it was very mild, and I was feeling very peaceful. And I was great. And I do want to put out there too that, in July I did do mushroom ceremony in Shasta. And so I do know that I'm integrating some of that at the same time. I took a week break, and then I've gone back to the Aya. And I really feel like it's the Aya that has really my emotions. And, healing is a beautiful thing, but it's not always pretty either, right? You feel a lot of stuff.
Yes.
I teach, I've been teaching for 21 years, public high school. I taught math for 16 years, taught health, and then now I'm teaching seniors. And, taking 21 years and throwing it out the window, because now we're doing remote learning. And so that's a whole new experience. And I feel like with the Aya, a lot of stuff. So I also, like Judy and Ig, I hold it in reverence. And I was taking it in the morning, and then I switched to taking it because I felt like I was less rushed. So night just seemed to work better for me. So, but I'm asking for emotional and physical healing specifically. And that's exactly what I'm getting. I feel like a lot of stuff is coming up for me physically, which feels a lot like even past injuries that I've had, sports injuries and things, as well as just emotions. And with work, what I'm noticing that's coming up is, is feeling like I'm enough. I've always looked at my work as a connection of my self-worth as a piece of that. And so I'm like getting that triggered and things coming flying up. And I know it's the Aya doing exactly what I've asked for, those things. So I haven't got any big messages like my brother Chris with whispers over the shoulder, but certainly I've been feeling a lot of stuff. It's in a really great way because I'm asking for it. And like I said, to be totally honest, it's not always fun, but it is definitely what I signed up to do.
Beautiful.
And thank you for sharing, Donna. The thing about it, what Donna talked about is like when you put the intention there, when you put intention, when you're using sacred plants, we know, because we do so many ceremonies, like that's what we focus on, the intention for yourself and what it is that you desire for yourself, you know, healing, expansion, knowledge, clarity. I want to know my soul purpose, whatever, you know, that is when you put that intention out there. That's why I feel like every time I take the medicine, it's like a mini ceremony. It's like a mini ceremony for me every day. Every day I put my intention into what it is that I would like for myself, and I ask the medicine, you know, for that experience. And so,
and express gratitude for it.
And always, I'm very, very grateful for her existence on the planet, because she's changed my world so much, and really anchored me into doing this, and doing because right now I feel like in 2018, in December 2018, I was done with my corporate job, and in Iggy too, the same month, December 2018, and we were from that time just able to step into this kind of work, working with the sacred plants, doing retreats, doing cacao ceremonies, and it's the most fulfilling thing I've ever done in my whole life.
Same for me.
Yeah, and then this opportunity with Matt and Laura with Awake Healer, I'm like, wow, this is already in alignment with what we do, and now we can share the sacred plant with everybody in this way. You don't need to go to Peru, you don't need to go to Costa Rica or Brazil or anywhere to really experience the spirit, you know, of ayahuasca. So this is why we know how the medicine can heal. We know that because we've experienced it so much, and this is for us. This here is a great honor. I'm gonna cry. I feel like crying. It's such a great honor to really share the sacred plant that has changed my life. And you heard Matt and Laura's story too, and it's changed their lives in like drastic ways. And we know that it can change your life too. We know that. We really do.
We've seen it so many times. People who've come to ceremonies with us, whether it was in Peru, in Costa Rica, or even at our retreats, there is just so much healing that happens to shift in people's perception of themselves and everything around them. So they have profound shifts in their life that are truly transformative, life-changing shifts. So this is why we hold these plants with so much reverence and understand their true power and purpose, what they're here for, to serve us, to work with us, to help humanity. So so maybe we can circle back into Awake Healer and what the options are. As Matt mentioned before, if you do not feel called to work with essential oils, the ayahuasca is $100 a month, and that's I think that doesn't even cover all the expenses related to growing, harvesting,
and getting it here.
Right. Concentrating this plant, then getting it to the US, and then all the bottling and distribution and everything else. It's really gift from Laura and Matt, in my opinion. And so that's option number one. And if you join Awake Healer, you'll have access to the medicine plus all the other, you know, training and retreats, and access to cacao and different modalities of healing, or even certifications. And a lot of that stuff they're going to offer for free, which is just amazing, absolutely amazing. But if you understand the power of the essential oils, which are also plants,
medicine,
it's another plant medicine, just concentrated form in oil and in different forms, right? So we love that. I mean, this
is my jam right now. I'm telling you guys have to get this one. This is Aroma Touch Massage Blend. We have it going on in the diffuser. I have a chakra bracelet with lava rocks. So I put it in, you know, on the lava rocks. And this is my jam. I already used half the damn bottle. Like, I love this one.
I mean,
I love it.
personally, I'm very sensitive. My nose is very sensitive to smells, and like I really can't stand like strong perfumes. Like sometimes, like, you know, when I was working in the office and a woman would go by with like really strong perfume, I would get a headache, and I was so sensitive to that. And so I was never a cologne guy, but I mean, I feel like dousing myself with some of these oils. It smells so good. I mean, it's just like, yeah, I mean, like lemongrass or lime or all these, even myrrh and frankincense, they're just so beautiful, and you just feel so much better when you're using that.
We use them in our ceremonies too. But what we want to let you guys know that how we are doing it here, as in the Sacramento group, you know, here is every month. Hopefully we'll start, you know, really soon as they start opening everything up, is that our goal is for us to meet
In person.
Yeah, meet in person if we can, at least once a month, if not virtually. And that way, how we're doing it with the oils is every month we're going to work on a specific chakra. So I hope you guys all know what chakras are. Chakras are energy centers that we have in our bodies. And we, doTERRA, actually, they have this chakra rollerball blend, you know, sheets, like colors of the rainbow here. So every month we're going to work on a specific chakra with the ayahuasca. So we're going to start with the Earth Star chakra, then the root chakra, and like work our way up.
So combining different essential oils with the ayahuasca.
Yeah, so the specific oils for that chakra for the whole month. And then while you're taking the ayahuasca. So that's how we're going to do it over here. We're going to start with one chakra, and there are like 3-4 oils for that chakra. And so we're all going to use that on a daily basis and then share our experiences. And so we will have meetings. It may be here, like on Zoom, or hopefully in person, where we'll be able to, you know, come together and, you know, do meditation together, do some breath work together, and then integrate and talk about our experiences with the oils, with working on that specific chakra, and what's happening with you as you're microdosing the ayahuasca. So we haven't started that yet. So this is the very, 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 very like beginning, you know, of this. We're like kind of ahead of the game because Awake Healer didn't even launch the website or anything yet. But Iggy and I were so excited. We're like, we want to get this started. Like, we're so excited about it, and we want to get ayahuasca, you know, to the whole world, because we know that the medicine can heal so much. So when you work with, when you join Awake Healer, the other component, the second part of that is when you join doTERRA and you spend
over $100
a month in oils, you get the ayahuasca for free. Okay.
To me, that's an incredible deal.
Yeah, because you're getting
essentially
the oils
getting 2 for 1.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're getting oils, and I just want to show you guys some oils. Laura and Matt, thank you so much for this. They sent me this yoga collection. So awesome. It's Anchor, so nice. Anchor, Align, and Arise. So beautiful oils. Thank you so much.
And they smell fantastic.
They smell so good, and so I'm so happy.
Thank you.
I'm a yoga teacher and I love yoga, and so yeah, so I'm gonna use these for sure. But thank you so much. And we actually have used the different blends in our ceremonies too, and it's like helped so much. So that's, you know, the other option is to join doTERRA, purchase the oils, and then you'll get the ayahuasca, you know, for free. So I wanted to kind of open everything up right now and see if anybody has any specific questions or comments, you know, about anything, about Awake Healer, about ayahuasca, about doTERRA.
How do I find that website?
Oh, it's not even launched
So,
yet.
so the website is awakehealer.com, but it's
Okay.
currently still
They're
being
still working-
finalized.
Yeah, they're still working on it.
So, but you are welcome to connect with us,
And we can get you started.
and we'll get you started, and then we'll direct you. We'll keep you informed about when.
Because if you want to get
When it's actually running.
Yeah, if you want to get started with it, Michael, we can like sign you up and
Yeah, I'd like that.
Get you the
like that very
medicine so you can
much.
start benefiting from that.
right away.
Right.
So
And
yes.
the site will be live soon. The site will be live very soon.
Okay. Yay!
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yes. And I want to say, Judy, that Aroma Touch oil is my favorite oil too.
Oh my God! Of course. Oh my God! Soul Sisters. Woo! I'm like, Laura, I used half the dang bottle already. I used half of it. I'm like, oh my God.
That's
so,
going to be like a monthly reorder.
I know.
Right?
I was like, I'm going to order this because I am using so much of it. I just want to smell that all over.
So,
well, it's really good for vein circulation. So if you have any vein issues or any type of circulation or swelling, it's really, really good for applying to your feet, your ankles, your legs, and sore muscles. Really good for aching backs, necks. I mean, it's an incredible oil. It is my favorite.
Yeah. Ambi, you have to use this. Ambi's a massage therapist, and I was like, oh my God, you have to get this. It smells so divine.
So,
we should actually smell this.
Laura,
right now.
perhaps maybe you could share a little bit about doTERRA as a company, what you love about the company, and also a little bit about the oils, because some of the people do not know that these are like therapeutic grade, like the purity of the oils of the products, and also a little bit about the company itself, and what you love about doTERRA.
Oh, absolutely. I would love to. So what I want you all to do is when we're done with the call, I want you to go to YouTube and look up doTERRA's channel. So doTERRA has a channel. You could go to YouTube and search doTERRA, DOTERRA, and then co-impact sourcing, just CO, and then impact sourcing. You can also search Healing Hands, doTERRA, Healing Hands. That's the humanitarian arm of doTERRA, but there's several things that really set doTERRA apart, and why I feel very proud and humbled, kind of like how Judy was saying, she feels very humbled to share something with you all and to share this with the world. I feel that same way with all plant medicines, and specifically doTERRA, and it's because it really is a humanitarian movement above anything else. And doTERRA works directly with the farmers, local farmers, and has eliminated the middleman. And so there's many stories I could tell you, but I want you to just watch some of the videos on co-impact sourcing with doTERRA. And if you're not, get your tissues ready, because they're very touching. And so the humanitarian aspect, I absolutely love. It's about giving back to the world and empowering people all over the world. The other thing is quality. The quality of the oils is unlike anything else out there, and they're independently tested. So they're guaranteed to be free of anything chemicals or adulterated in any way, or diluted or watered down. I mean, you have an oil that has different chemical constituents that make up the oil, and pure essential oils are very expensive. They're not easy to come by, but yet these chemical constituents that make up the oils can be created in a lab. And so you can have a company that will say, we have pure lavender, or even say organic, but what you're getting is something that's adulterated, and that's like 97 synthetic. Exactly. That's like 97% of the oils available on the market today. You cannot count on their quality, and doTERRA quality is everything. And that's why just after 4 years, it became the largest essential oil company in the world, just after 4 years. And there's no comparison. There's a lot of little companies that will start up, try to compete, but doTERRA has exclusive contracts with farmers all over the world. And they harvest the oils where they're grown indigenously. And even, for example, if they know that maybe, let's say, like they could reproduce an oil here in Utah, where we live, like they could grow it and they could make sure the quality was good and everything. They are choosing to go and empower people all over the world where that plant grows naturally, and also as a way to give back to people all over the world. So it really is very humbling to be part of doTERRA, and that's just a few things that I love about the company. And doTERRA means gift of the earth. And I have to say one last thing is that I've always loved essential oil. Since I've been using oils for 10 years, of course, I've always loved them because I use them every day. But I have to tell you, since I started microdosing, the oils are really special to me now, even more special. When I held a bottle of frankincense, I touched the bottle and I could feel the energy of the frankincense oil. And I opened the bottle and I smelled it, and I got really emotional because I realized it just all clicked with me that these are plant medicines. These are plants, and they truly are a gift of the earth. And I feel humbled to be able to share the oils. I feel humbled. I feel like I'm just a servant. I'm an instrument to bring hope and healing to people all over the world. And it's not anything that I'm doing that's magical or that I'm charismatic, which I don't think I am. It's the plants need to get out there. The healing and the hope needs the message. It needs to be in people's hands. We need to give people hope. And so it really is completely aligned, doTERRA's mission and what we're creating with Awake Healer. It's just a different type of plant. Really.
And the thing is, like for me, Laura, like the messages that I've been getting is like the plants unite us. Plants unite us, and this is what I feel like. Everything has consciousness, so the plants have consciousness, and the plants are the ones that want to get out into the world. The plants, ayahuasca, she wants to get out, in the world. The plant medicine oils, like they're the ones. That's what I feel. That's what I feel. That the consciousness of that to help
Exactly.
people.
Yeah, thank you so much, Laura, for sharing that. And it's so I'm really excited because I've loved doTERRA oils. I've used them before, but I bought them through a friend of mine who was distributing them, and so it's good to know that not only are the products so pure and powerful, but that the company is socially responsible too. So that resonates with me. Because we see too many of the corporations around the world that just don't take environment or social aspect into consideration at all, and it's all about the greed and bottom line and next reporting cycle and so on, and so then as a result there is a lot of destruction that is left in their wake, and this is quite opposite. So it truly resonates with me.
And so, with partnering or putting together the plant medicine of the oils, and then this Amazonian plant medicine of ayahuasca together, I just feel like it up levels everything. You just get so much more healing, so much more expansion, just so much more.
And then if you do choose to join doTERRA, you have option to become either wholesale customer and if you just want to purchase stuff for yourself, or you can also become group leader or
be a
wellness advocate, which you can then sign up people under you and actually can start earning residual income. The company will send you checks back for the little bonuses. So this is the beautiful thing about it. So it could turn into an impossible income opportunity. It certainly has for Laura. We're not there yet, but this is
and we have Laura and Matt to help us and guide us, and if this is the route you want to take with it. I mean, because Iggy and I know, for us, like it's for us, it's just sharing. It's just sharing the medicine with the world. This is what we wanted to do with medicine.
It's not about sales.
Yeah, we just want to share so we can see the shift and the change in the consciousness of the planet, because we're moving, we're rising up, you know, from this third dimension and going beyond and creating this new earth. It looks like it's in chaos right now, but it has to be. But we are moving into a new frequency, you know, on the planet. And this is why I feel like the plants are helping. They're guiding us. The plants are helping us heal, helping us get rid of stuff, helping us release a lot of things, and opening us up to more of who we are, to more of the soul aspect of who we are. Okay, I could talk a lot about that, but so I wanted to ask if does anybody have any questions for us or for Matt and Laura or anything, because we can send everybody our contact information, and
we'll have follow-up calls.
Yeah,
so you can always also directly contact us through Facebook or through the meetup, if you'd like. So we are completely open. We would be happy to have private conversation with you if that's what you would like. We
can like get you started on the sacred medicine, you know, right away. If you really feel called, if this, you feel this inside, because I really feel it's you have to feel it inside. Like, you really have to feel a calling to the sacred plants.
Right. I mean, I can share with you that I've had people come to me and ask me, how do I know I'm ready for plant medicine? And I tell them, you're not ready. It's like, how do you know? Well, you're asking me the question. If you're asking the question, you're not ready.
You're not ready.
When you stop asking the question, when you know, because that plant is talking to you and it's calling you, you will know it. And once you are certain that you desire that for yourself, then you know.
Yes.
And then you're ready.
Yes. So this is really good because we wanted to keep it at an hour and a half, and so we're almost there. We want to thank you guys so much for joining us this evening. Thank you, Matt and Laura. They're on a vacation.
Yes.
To go surfing. Thank you so much for coming on. We love you guys, you know, so much, and you know, we would be so honored for all of you to, you know, join the Awake Healer movement and use the sacred plants and just see and feel how it can really shift and change your life for the better, for the better.
Absolutely.
Yes. So we can send all of you guys our contact information. If anybody wants that on Meetup, we can send that.
Or you can hit us up through Living in Om, or through Sacramento Plant Medicine Meetup. Yeah.
Yes. Any last questions or comments or anything before we end?
Right, I'll be contacting you.
Yes.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, well, contact us and we can talk more, and we can, you know, really go more in detail about how to, you know, join Awake Healer, and we can get the sacred medicine out to you. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a great evening. Good night.
Good night.
Okay, we'll
Yes.
talk to you guys soon.
Blessings.
Blessings.
Bye-bye.
Bye.